Alright guys, so today's video we're going to check out the brand new Impal X6. Now remember last week we did a video on the top true wireless earbuds with noise canceling under $100 video? Well, these came in almost immediately after that, and it got me thinking that this pair could have easily been on that list. But it really just kind of came down to how well the noise canceling is on these and how well they sound. So we're going to check out all of the features, we're going to talk about the sound and the noise canceling, and see if it actually belonged on that list. But let's go ahead and start with the price of these, because on Amazon it shows that the original retail price is $90, but right now because they're on sale, you can actually pick them up for only 59 bucks. So price-wise, that is definitely in line with some of the other ones that we checked out, but it's also in line with the Impal X3s, which are another pair of impressive earbuds that have noise canceling, but they actually have the stem. And we'll talk about how those compare a little throughout the video, but let's go ahead and start with the colors that these are available in, because normally you have black or you have white. But for some reason, Impal decided to go with a blue and gold color. They are also available in a purple and gold, so it's a unique color choice. I think it really makes these stand out amongst some of the other budget earbuds, and I think they did a really good job designing these. Now the earbuds themselves do have hybrid active noise canceling. You can tell on the design of the earbud that there's a mic on the outside, and then there's also a little microphone located underneath the ear tip. And another thing that the mics do is it also has a transparency mode, which allows you to hear your surroundings or carry on a conversation without actually having to take the earbuds out. And I feel like the transparency mode on these are actually pretty decent. I was able to hear my surroundings, but I did notice that there is a little bit of hiss in the audio while in transparency mode. Now, as far as the technology in these, they are using Bluetooth 5.1. They do have SBC and AAC playback, and they also have a low latency mode, which is going to be really important if you plan on using these for movies or videos. And it also did a really good job with cutting down lag while gaming. So I was impressed with the latency that these had, but do keep in mind, if you're going to use the low latency mode, it is going to use a little bit more battery. And speaking of the battery life, this is one area that I don't think these stood out as much as some of the others, because if you're going to use these with the noise canceling off, you're only going to get around 5 hours on the earbuds with around 25 hours using the case, where if you use them full time with the noise canceling on, you're only going to get 4 hours on the earbuds with around 20 hours using the case. So we've seen much better on some other earbuds. Again, 4 to 5 hours on a single charge is still going to get most people through a day. I don't think a lot of people listen to their earbuds more than 4 or 5 hours at a time. And speaking of the battery life, as far as being able to charge these, they do include a USB-C cable, but the case is also a Qi wireless charging case. So you just come in, sit it on a wireless charger, and it will start charging. And I found that to be really nice because you don't see that on a lot of budget pair of earbuds. So now let's move over to checking out the case, because I feel like the case kind of has a generic look to it, especially considering how unique I feel the earbuds look. Now it kind of has a boxy design. You can see the Impal logo up top. On the back it has a gold hinge with the USB-C input underneath, and then on the front you have 2 indicator lights that not only let you know that the earbuds are in and that they're charging, but then it switches over to let you know how much battery life is on the case. Now another thing that I do want to point out about this case is I feel the hinge is kind of loose, which means that the lid easily closes, and I just kind of prefer it to stay open and then close whenever I need it to. So now let's move over to checking out the earbuds, because like I said earlier, I think the look of these definitely stand out. I like the blue with the gold accents. I do like this gold microphone. It just kind of gives it a little bit of a unique look. And then on the back, you can see where the left and right are marked, but then right underneath that, you can see the sensor. Now this is the sensor that will auto pause when you take the earbuds out of your ear, and it will auto resume when you put them back in. So I really like the fact that these have that feature. Now, as far as the IP rating on these, they do actually come in rated at IPX6, which I think is pretty good on a pair that has active noise canceling. Most pairs have IPX4, so I think having that IPX6 gives you a little bit better peace of mind if you're going to be using these at the gym or to work out. You just don't have to worry if you sweat heavily or if it starts to rain. But this is still not a pair that you can submerge into water. Now, as far as the ear tips they've included, you do get the usual small, medium, and large silicone ear tips. And then as far as the controls go, these actually use touch controls, and I'm happy to say that you have control over everything. So on top of having your play, pause, skipping your tracks forward, going backwards, and volume control, they even let you switch between the 3 different modes that these have. So you have your transparency mode, so you can hear your surroundings. You have the ability to listen to these with the noise canceling off, which is kind of like a standard mode, or you can listen to these with the noise canceling turned on, which I'm going to go ahead and say is not the best feature on these earbuds. The noise canceling is very weak. In fact, I would say it's only blocking out maybe 30% of the noise around me. So that really doesn't put these stacking up well against some of the other budget noise canceling earbuds. So if you're looking at these specifically for noise canceling, I think there are much better options out there. Now, as far as using these individually, you can use either the left or the right. And what it does is it switches them over into mono mode if you're going to be using them by themselves. So the good thing about that is no matter what you're listening to, all of your audio is going to be coming out of that one earbud. Now, as far as the microphones for you guys that like to use your earbuds for taking phone calls, this is an area where I think they did a pretty decent job. It's not going to be the best sounding mic, but just for taking calls and normal conversation, it will definitely get the job done. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. All right, guys, so here is a mic test using the X6. I think overall it does a fairly decent job. I do notice that my audio sounds a little bit tinny, but overall this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here is a mic test with the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. So now let's talk about the sound. Because in the sound department, I was expecting quite a bit, especially trying to compare these to the X3s, which I felt like delivered on every aspect. And to be honest, the theme of the X6 is it just kept me feeling like I needed a little bit more, which means I needed a little bit more volume because these don't get extremely loud. It left me feeling like I needed a little bit more brightness in the treble, that I wanted a little bit more thump in the low end. And so it was just lacking life in the sound. Now I felt like overall it sounded pretty good. And it sounded fine with all genres. It just wasn't enough to make it exciting to listen to. Same thing with the soundstage and the sound imaging. These don't sound very open, so it kind of left me feeling like I was in a medium-sized room. And then as far as being able to tell where things are coming from, it did an okay job, but there's just not a lot of space in the audio, which means there wasn't a whole lot of depth. And so it just kind of made everything feel a little bit more closed in. Now, some of the other cons that I have, there's quite a bit. I feel like the noise canceling is not very strong. I feel like the sound quality and the volume just seems to be lacking, especially compared to a pair that they already offer in the X3s. And then the battery life is on the weaker side, where a lot of other earbuds that have noise canceling and are in this price range are doing a much better job. So the conclusion to these is they're just good enough in some areas, but they're not great enough to stand out against some of the other ones that are in this price range. I just feel like there's some better options out there. I will link my top true wireless earbuds with noise canceling under $100 so you can see some of those options. Even just going with the Impal X3 is going to be a much better option. But guys, that's my video on the brand new Impal X6. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.